Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to what will undeniably be put into the Smithsonian of Silliness as the greatest show ever broadcast across pixelated realities in the universe. Welcome to your Golden Geeks. We are your hosts. I am Simon Gregory. Jamie Jamikowski. How are you today, sir?
I am doing very well. How are you?
We're making it happen, living in the world. We're living the dream over here.
That's right. You celebrated a big milestone this week. A belated happy birthday to you. I know how much you love birthdays.
Oh yeah, I'm big fan, big fan. No, we had a great birthday. I am a weirdo and I love antiques. So what I did was I drove down to an antique store called the White Owl Antique Market, and I'm pretty sure it's either Charles Robinson or Playboy Buddy Rose, one of his family members, has a merch station there. And on that antique station, it's got like all kinds of stuff signed by like all kinds of different wrestlers today, yesterday, all over the place. So yeah, it's somebody that lives down here in the North Carolina area that is a wrestler that owns that shop. It has to be. They have too much stuff that's very specific type stuff. So yeah.
Is that why you went there?
I have seen it for 7 years. Every time I see a championship belt, it's coming from the White Owl Antique Shop. And I went, okay, so I got to go see what that is. Yeah, that is the reason I went there. And then once we got there, it's huge. So yeah, we spent quite a bit of time there.
Nice. Did you buy anything?
No, God, no.
Why?
No. Well, first of all, I have a 3D printer now. I just print anything I want. Like, I don't need to buy anything ever anymore.
That's not how it works.
I'm pretty sure that's how we're working it, buddy. We're doing it that way. Look at.
So what'd you get for your birthday?
3D printer. You want to see what I got for my birthday too? Okay.
Yes.
So what Mel and I decided, because we have our birthdays a week apart, and we are typically we do our birthday together. So we just do a birthday smash week, whatever. So because we got the 3D printer, we said this is our gift to each other, and we'll use the 3D printer to make each other gifts. So she gave me, look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So these are, oh, this one's my favorite.
Oh, that one's cool. All right.
Yeah, right. And these are an artist that makes them specifically so that you can 3D print them. This one is Venom.
Okay. Wow.
Blasty.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then I got a Spider-Man, and I was super psyched about it.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff you can do. The 3D printer thing is crazy. I mean, I don't even want to get into it with you right now. There's too much to talk about. We have a ton of stuff to talk about already.
But so I need to go back though. Okay. I think you and I are diametrically opposed on birthdays.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So you do a shared birthday and you got like one gift for the two of you?
Yeah, we do that. We do that sometimes.
Okay. Let me
so like
something.
last year, 2 years ago, we went to Alaska. That trip was our shared birthday trip.
Okay. When November rolls around, I just want to put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
If you know anybody else who has a birthday in early November around the same time as mine,
Yep.
don't pitch that we're going to do, a joint birthday anything. My birthday is mine. There's a tale that one of my cousins, her due date, she was having her first baby, and her first due date was my birthday. Mm. And I literally called her and told her, I don't care what you have to do. Cross your legs for 24 hours.
Yep.
Do not give birth on my birthday, because I don't share my birthday with anybody.
You're like Bortus. You don't share birthdays.
And then ironically, one of my good friends back east, Michael Crockett, and I actually are birthday buddies.
Oh.
But when we used to work together, like I would try to get him to celebrate his the next day because it's mine.
So you used to make him change his birthday?
Well, as best I could. I couldn't make him. I could highly suggest.
You could highly suggest, but weren't you also didn't you employ him?
That's all I could highly suggest.
So
well, I guess you had a happy birthday. It sounds.
I did. You know, another thing that I did end up getting technically for my birthday, and I've had Logitech headsets a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a little bit disappointed, upset, scared, lonely. I don't know. I have feelings. I got a lot of feelings right now because I went to the store 3 months after my Logitech headset ran out of warranty. My white one that you've seen me on here many times.
Yeah.
With.
Yeah.
3 months after, it shit the bed. Now, I'm not trying to say that they make them that way. They do. But on the other side of that, I understand they got to make some money. I'm not trying to give them crap about it. I went to the store and I grabbed myself this nice bad boy right here. And I said, ooh, that's a nice red headset. I'm going to take that home.
Yeah.
I'm going to love it. I'm going to hug it. I'm going to kiss it. I'm going to keep it for my very own. Then I opened it up. And I don't know, Jamie, you notice anything about this?
I was going to ask if those hot pink headphones were a birthday gift.
Yeah. So they're hot. They're pink. And then I tried to take them back. And first of all, the lady in the store didn't believe that these were the headset that were from the box because they look red on the box. And then you open it up and they're bright pink. It's listed as magenta. I think this is a reverse pink tax. Have you ever heard of the pink tax, Jamie?
I have heard of the pink tax, but explain it.
So the pink tax is when ladies have to pay more for stuff just because it's lady stuff, like razors and stuff like that. We get razors for like $1 a piece. They got to pay $1.30. That basically happens across the board. Yeah. It's been happening for 20, 30 years. It's crazy. On the other side of that, I think this is the reverse pink tax what they did to me is they said to me, these are $229.99. And then I returned them and they said, okay, would you like to buy the black ones? And I said, yes, I would. And they said, it's going to be $50. And I said, what do you mean it's going to be $50? They wanted to charge me more for the black headset. That's a reverse pink tax. They tricked me into buying this headset, thinking it was red. And now I can't go get the black one that I wanted. See how they do?
So wait. So let me get this straight. So you brought the pink ones back because you don't like the pink.
Well, I didn't bring them back because I didn't like them. But I thought to myself, maybe I've been hoodwinked, shellacked, swindled. Because it seems like these are not the color that's supposed to be on there. They're supposed to be red.
So what you're saying is you actually think that there's a pink headphone conspiracy.
Yeah, there's
against
definitely a conspiracy. Maybe not against me. I think we're against all men. I bet you they know that you and I are probably the top types of guys that would buy pink headsets. I bet you would grab one. But if given the option between pink or red or black, I'm sure we're going to go with pink or black, or red or black. We're not usually going to go with pink. But
hold on, wait, let's track this. So now, but you brought them back to Best Buy.
I brought them back to Best Buy. I said, "Hey, what's going on with these headsets?"
And how much more were the black ones?
$279.99. So instead of $229.99, they were a $50 full
$50 difference. So for $50, you said no. I'll keep the pink ones.
I said, I like these. I like this headset. In fact, I think I'm a fan of pink, and they match my gloves. So fuck it. I'm going with it. I'm owning it. I'm going to get right in.
But you only decided to own it because they were $50 more.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say I only decided that. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I pretty much decided to own it because they were $50 more, and I'm cheap. I think cheap is the word. Is that the word that you use in those instances?
And yet, but one more follow-up question. We can certainly move on.
Okay.
Logitech. That's what brand they are, right?
Yep. Good old Big L. Yep.
They're the only ones that make headphones.
No, but all right. Here's where you're gonna probably we are gonna differ.
I see so many paths to solutions here.
No. There's only certain headphones you can wear for specific hours and hours on head. For me, this headset, I can wear it for hours on end, so I'm good with that. But you can't really wear. I mean, Mel's got one from HyperX, but they're cheap. You know what I mean? Like I'm not. I like these ones. This has been cuddling my head for 6 years.
How long would you say that headphones normally last you?
So my last set lasted me 3 years and 3 months. My set before that lasted me 3 years and 6 months.
Okay.
You notice the conspiracy here? 3 years. They have warranted for 3 years, and then they die instantly after the 3-year mark. And you know what? I'm not going to be upset with Logitech. I paid the money.
Now,
I'm happy with the company.
Now, do you wear them every day? Do you use them pretty much every day?
I wear these every day. Yeah, these sit on my head in some form every day.
Okay, so doing some quick math here.
Okay.
I did 3 1/3 years on average. Yours last. 365 days in a year. That's 1,204 and a half days.
Okay. That's not terrible.
Okay. No. Now, if I divide $50.
Don't do that. No, don't do that part. Don't divide $50 1,200 days.
You literally got headphones. You kept headphones out of principle.
Yeah.
That you didn't want, you don't particularly like, for 4 cents a day.
I mean, 4 cents a day sounds like you're really just negating the level of frustrated that I was when I was leaving Best Buy. But yeah, I probably makes sense.
And your venom is aimed toward Logitech, right?
Kind of. Yeah, it's really aimed toward the high end executives at Logitech.
My favorite part of this whole thing is to prove your point to Logitech of how much you're angry. You kept the item that they conspired against you to take in the first place.
That's why it's a conspiracy, Jamie, because they thought about it. They knew that I wasn't going to pay. They knew that nobody's going to pay $50 more. We'd have to keep the headset and own it. And you know what? That's why it's a conspiracy. And that's why it's the reverse pink tax.
It has become very clear that when we start negotiating sponsorship contracts for the Golden Geeks podcast, I'll be doing the negotiations.
Yeah, no, don't let me negotiate
because I just love that somehow. End of story. Our go home on this is that you kept the headphones you didn't want.
You know what? 2 of the greatest of all time wore pink, and I got to tell you, I know
Gregory on fire.
But is this not the exact same pink though? I'm not. I mean, this is the same pink.
It is.
This is the reason why I chose to keep them, Jamie. I chose to keep them because of this, not because of the rest of this stuff.
I love how you can't find one picture of the Heart Foundation pink.
You are
on fire today.
I'm trying to get to something here. Now I'm watching the Fabulous Rougeaus. I don't understand.
They're there. Okay, they're there. That took a minute to get there. There's some great there's some fun superheroes that wore pink. Adam Eve from Invincible. Spider-Gwen.
You're right. Spider-Gwen.
Star Sapphire.
Yes, you are correct.
Pink Power Ranger. Everybody's favorite Power Ranger wore pink.
The Pink Power Ranger was arguably the toughest. She was always up first. She always did the kip up. I mean, I got to be honest with you.
Amy Jo Johnson.
She was represented.
Childhood crush for a lot of people. I'm just glad that you really showed Logitech, my friend.
I have showed Logitech, and you know what? I'm going to continue to show them. I'm going to wear this headset, and I'm going to bitch about it every time. That's going to be that's my deal. I'm going to explain to them. It's a reverse pink tax.
Okay. Well, again, everybody who watches, you can tell us. How do they like the pink headphones, or should Jamie lend you $50 to go get the ones you want? I don't know.
No,
anyways,
it's
time to get to our newest.
Now.
You know what? I just love that I get to see those every 2 weeks. That's going to make me happy.
I think you're going to be. Happy.
And I may put behind me like a running tally of the 4 cents a day of what it would have cost us to have you in black, but. Moving on to our newest segment on the Golden Geeks podcast, we have our new Pop Culture Pulse, where we cover some of the biggest pop culture stories of the day. Starting off with, as you know, my daughter just graduated from Pepperdine University a couple weeks ago, and universities across the country are increasingly turning to celebrities, athletes, and entertainers to deliver their keynote speeches to their graduating students. Just in the past couple of weeks, we had Harrison Ford at ASU. Oh, there's my daughter, Nikki, with her proud parents at Pepperdine. But just in the last few weeks, and with the celebrities, we had Harrison Ford at Arizona State University. Hugh Jackman at Ball State, Hilary Duff at Northeastern, Conan O'Brien at Harvard, and Henry Winkler at Boston's own Emerson University. I actually have a lot of friends who went to Emerson. I also had one friend, a friend of mine, his son just graduated from Notre Dame. Shout out to Isaiah Dunn. And congratulations. And my buddy asked him, hey, Isaiah, who was your keynote speaker? And he said, and I quote, some woman from the Vatican. And Milo was like, oh, that's interesting. He was like, yeah, these other places got Hugh Jackman and Harrison Ford. We got a nun.
We got some nun.
And as Milo said, yes, but that's because it's called Notre Dame and the Catholic Church has very deep pockets. So you will, you get a nun, not Harrison Ford.
It's just what you're stuck with.
Now, what I learned was the reason schools are starting to feature them is because they actually look at it as a pop culture moment where they are literally now competing for their graduation clips to go viral and cause a social media buzz. They say celebrity speakers can better connect with students facing an uncertain job market and rapidly changing world because nobody can speak to a realistic job market better than celebrities. And they say that for some kids, it's better to hear life advice from a movie star or Olympic legend better than listening to another boring speech about their journey ahead.
Yeah,
I remember the first one that really went viral a few years ago. It's probably been close to a decade now, but it was actually Michael Keaton did one. In his whole speech and his build up to the end was, he said, and before I go, I just want to leave you all with these two words that will get you through life that you should remember. And he paused and he said, I'm Batman. And he walked off stage. That was.
Yeah, no, that's the way you're supposed to do it. I think that's the way you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like, I need to hear Michael Keaton. I mean, I'd love to hear him tell me about how, his struggle and the story. But I mean, let's face it. He ain't going to tell you anything that you don't already know about.
But hold on, wait. Look, right? I just came from one of these. Is the point of a commencement speech to really give you that much? I'd rather see Michael Keaton or Harrison Ford.
I agree.
Than a distinguished alumni who, like we said, is going to tell you, if you work hard, stop, enough. I remember ours, when I graduated undergrad, my keynote speaker was actually Bob Iger, who now runs Disney.
Really? Bob Iger?
Or just recently ran Disney. Yeah.
Wow. And so, what kind of stuff does he tell you? Like, do you remember what he talked about?
I don't remember. No, I don't remember anything.
See, that's why it's just fine. Just stick with the celebrities. Don't
100%.
screw around with the celebrities. I agree. I think that's probably the way you got to go with that.
Now, excitement is building across the country as soccer fever is officially starting to build across the United States and around the world as the countdown to the 2026 FIFA World Cup ramps up. And while the organization is saying that demand has been massive with more than 500 million ticket requests submitted worldwide and over 5 million tickets already sold, the reality on the ground is a little more complicated. Fans are flooding social media complaining about high ticket prices, confusing sale faces, and expensive hospitality packages that can cost thousands of dollars for premium matches.
Oh, it sounds like
now,
WWE.
Do you have any, you probably where you are, you're down in Carolina, you don't have any World Cup matches coming to you.
No.
They are preparing for it here in LA.
Okay.
I know Boston, there was a big talk that for a while, I know at Gillette Stadium outside of Boston, they had banned tailgating. Then they reversed direction on that. There's licensing issues. There are rumors that host cities are seeing slower than expected hotel bookings.
Okay.
Leading to questions about whether or not average fans are being priced out of the event.
Like we said, I mean, that sounds exactly like WWE right now. Who's gonna tell these guys, yeah, we get it. You can make great moments, but if nobody that there isn't trying to be there for themselves, you're in trouble.
Plus, let's face it. I mean, I'm in my 50s. I played soccer when I was a kid. But I can tell you, for nearly half a century, I've been hearing this rhetoric that soccer, football, if you will, is going to become the next big American sport.
Okay.
5 decades later, look, I hate to tell everybody, and I get this is literally the most popular sport around the world. It's just not happening here.
I had to have an argument with, well, I didn't really have an argument with my niece, but she's only 10. And I was trying to explain to her that, football is actually, soccer is actually football. And she was just like, no, it's not. I don't believe that. Shut up. That was her argument. So I just kind of let it go.
I don't believe it. Shut up is actually a valid argument when we come with this, because I think even me, a huge sports fan, and most of America, I think what this little story means to us is that we have only about 100 days left until the start of the real football season with the NFL this fall. Speaking of climbing ticket prices, concert fans are starting to wonder if the summer touring bubble might finally be bursting. We talked about this briefly off air, but in recent weeks, major artists, including the Pussycat Dolls, Post Malone, Zayn Malik, and Meghan Trainor have either canceled, postponed, or scaled back their North American tours. Now, official statements have mentioned everything from family commitments needing more time for new music. Industry insiders are pointing to something fans are now calling Blue Dot Fever. Do you know what Blue Dot Fever is?
No, we haven't talked about Blue Dot Fever, and I'm excited to talk about Blue Dot Fever.
So what Blue Dot Fever is when you go to get seats on Ticketmaster, available seats in the arena show up as blue dots in the app.
Oh,
so
okay,
if there aren't
the available
if
ones.
there's low ticket sales,
that
means the entire arena is full of blue dots. So they're saying that, in fact, all these tours are not canceling because of family. It's because these tours are not canceling because of family. It's because of Blue Dot Fever or low ticket sales. Pussycat Dolls canceled almost all of their North American dates, I think, except for the one here in LA. And let's see if this sounds familiar. Industry experts are saying, what's causing this phenomenon? Rising ticket prices, inflation, and fans becoming more selective about the live events they are going to.
It sounds not only familiar, but I mean, it's downright weird at this point. I mean, at this point, something has to change, right?
It's just, I think, whether it's the World Cup, whether it's summer concerts, I said it in that last line. People just don't have the expendable money right now. You'll laugh. I just guessed. Before we record, I had to fill up my car on the way here, and I love it when it's over $75 to fill up my car.
Okay.
Because gas prices are outrageous. And you're hearing that great. Have you started to hear the phrase again coming back that people are going to start taking staycations again?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Because again, price of fuel going up. So I think what's going to happen is, and I was talking to friends about this as recently as last night. No, the Lady Gagas of the world, the Taylor Swifts of the world, the Sabrina Carpenters of the world, their tours are going to be just fine.
Yeah.
But if you're one of these bubble acts that doesn't have that massive following, I think this is what you're seeing with the Blue Dot Fever. People are making decisions and can't or won't pay to go to them.
And don't worry, I just made sure to make a clip of you saying, I love when it costs $75 to fill my gas tank.
I love it. Yeah.
All right.
And speaking of things that are affordable, summer movie season is officially in full swing as the first big wave of blockbusters starts to hit theaters, being led by the latest Star Wars adventure, The Mandalorian and Grogu, which is rolling out as we speak. Now, I guess the movie is set in the period immediately following the original trilogy, the fall of the Empire. The film follows the Mandalorian and Grogu as they're recruited by the New Republic to rescue Rota the Hutt in exchange for critical intelligence on remaining Imperial warlords and threatening the galaxy. Now, we've both seen previews of this one. We have some up on the screen now. Are you excited for The Mandalorian and Grogu?
I'm going to be honest with you. I will probably see it, but excited is not the word I would use. I'm intrigued. But I'm probably not going to see that. I got a very specific movie I'm going to see at the end of this month. I've already got tickets.
All right. See, I will definitely go see The Mandalorian and Grogu. I feel like I have to. The previews, I don't know. I'm watching this. I'm watching CGI puppets with CGI puppet. I don't know. I can tell you, though, that the premiere took place this past week right here in LA. I don't know if you saw this, but there was a big crossover with the wrestling world. Obviously, Mercedes Monet, the former Sasha Banks, she was there because she had starred in, or she had been featured in the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian. Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae were there, as well as Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona. They all made an appearance. And as I was browsing social media, I also spotted a bunch of familiar faces from my previous life at Prop Store. As you know, I used to run the influencer events there, and I saw both Carly King and my old friend Crystal Rosario. They were both decked out on the red carpet for the premiere, which naturally raises a question to me. Did neither of them get a +1, and did they somehow lose my number? Because really, I'm just throwing it out there. I was available.
I don't know if you just saw that, but we just saw some of, not all of, but some of the amazing costumes sitting outside, kind of being a part of that. Those kinds of events got to be amazing. So yeah, I'd feel distraught.
You know, between Carly and Crystal, I feel like somebody, you know, I remember there were times, hey, want to hold a lightsaber, want to play with a batarang. But no, do I get a phone call? Nope.
When it comes to, hey, you want to go to the red carpet? No,
they forget the prop store guy. Yeah, so I'll go see this one. But you mentioned it. So what's the movie you're looking forward to?
Now, I already have tickets to the pre-screening of He-Man. He-Man looks amazing. I'm really psyched about it, and it's very cool how they're meshing. You know, a lot of they're making it make sense and not be campy. To me, I'm cool with that. I'm excited with that. Like the concept that he's in the real world because Skeletor essentially sent him here is what we're picking it up. That's cool. I like what they're doing there. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff here. Have you seen any of the swag?
I have. Just before we came on, you mentioned it, so I've been pulling up images as we're talking. Is this now? Again, I will also say I am super stoked about the He-Man movie. Probably it might be until we get into like Spider-Man late in the summer. It's probably the movie I'm most looking forward to.
Same here.
Judging by the previews, like you said, I think it seems to be kind of giving a nice balance of nostalgia, a little bit of camp.
Yeah,
but also looks like to be a fun little adventure. And that's, look, when it comes to movies, I like fun little romps.
Yeah,
I refuse to go see dramas. I hate horror. That's a topic I hate horror movies. I'm not thrilled with dramas because I feel like, look, in the course of my life, I don't need to go spend 2 hours being tense and scared or, you know, intense and sad watching. So I love a movie like this. But you brought up the swag, and I believe what we started talking about was this new phenomenon of all these blockbusters get these custom popcorn buckets.
Oh,
right?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. And
now what is the tie-in?
Okay.
What's the He-Man bucket?
So, the He-Man bucket is Castle Grayskull, which
nice.
That's killer, right? But they also have like a Castle Grayskull tankard that you can drink out of. They have a sword. This is the plush version of the sword, okay? But they also have a sword you can drink out of. This is a cup. This is a power sword cup.
That's amazing.
Right? Look at the string. You see how long that's... Look at how long the straw is.
That's awesome.
Yep. And there's our popcorn bucket, right? This is the popcorn bucket. It comes out the front of the face. I mean, this is just... Ooh. I don't know. I like swag, man. Then they got the different cups, too. They got a couple of different cups. But who's going?
That's cool.
This is an LED cup. These are light up, by the way. The eyes light up on this one. And this one just has a light inside. But yeah, they have some cool swag. Now, have you seen any of the different stuff that's come out over the last couple of years with these buckets? What's your feeling on these buckets?
Look, I think all these... I do think it's ironic that of all places at the movie theater where the theaters are making a bigger cash grab is at the refreshment stand. Because as we all know, when you go to a movie now, the refreshments are still more than the tickets.
Yep.
But look, you're talking to the right guy here. For a while, I lived in a collectibles world, right?
Yeah.
And these are accessible collectibles. They're fun. They're cool. It helps you make you a part of the experience, too. I was just Googling real quick. I'm pretty sure the first one, where they kind of did the themed one, was the R2-D2 one for Rise of Skywalker. Before that, there had been like some toppers or tins, but kind of that first themed one. And then, do you remember the Dune one?
That's the one that I was thinking of. I thought that one.
The Dune is the one that took the whole thing in a different direction.
Yeah.
Because there it is.
Yep.
Because a lot of people claimed that perhaps a lot of the lonely sci-fi nerds watching Dune could also use their popcorn bucket for other activities.
Okay. No, yeah, because I remember they said the same thing about the one for Wolverine and Deadpool. Remember Wolverine and Deadpool?
I don't remember that one.
All right. Well, let me show you. There we go. Wolverine popcorn bucket. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hey, what are you gonna do with that? Right? That seems.
It's dark. You're in a movie theater.
Well.
And there's butter.
I think.
And
there's butter.
And there's butter. What more do you need?
Yep. So popcorn buckets are getting a little out of hand, but they're cool. I mean, I like being able to have some cool stuff to go home with. I'm a big fan of the collectible stuff, but we weren't able to get this one. You know, one we did get. We got the Beetlejuice one with the sandworm bucket. I ordered that. Yeah, I ordered that one because Bane loves.
But you didn't get it at the theater.
No. I tried to get it at the theater, but that was not happening that day.
See, I don't care how cool they are. I don't know if I would have secondhand embarrassment if I got to the theater. If I could actually buy one at the theater.
Yeah.
And then you got to like sit with it, which is fine. Then you got to walk out with it.
Oh, no. I don't mind that at all. No, but you want to know what's embarrassing. You want to know what's embarrassing. So the Beetlejuice one, I went to a theater in the morning, like 10 a.m. when they first opened, and they had already sold them out. So I didn't even get secondhand embarrassment. I literally left my house to do something stupid. And then I got there and they were like, "What are you doing here, stupid? We don't have any more of those." I couldn't believe it.
But would you have to buy? You had to buy popcorn with it if you were going to get it, right?
Funny story. No, like they didn't even come with popcorn with that one. You could get popcorn, but they gave it to you in a bag on the side. They didn't put it in the bucket.
All right, now I'm just upset. Now
it angry too. Yeah, you should be.
Now it angers me.
Yeah,
I turned the corner. All right, that is this episode's Pop Culture Pulse. All of the pop culture news.
Yeah, popcorn.
That is fit
So
to be heard.
We talked about Daredevil, or we're going to talk about Daredevil quite a little bit here because Daredevil, Born Again season 2 has completed. We saw the rise of the Kingpin taking over New York City. And really, we saw Matt Murdock coming into this season as sort of the villain, the anti-hero. He was not in a place. The city saw him as the bad guy, so to speak. Kind of thoughts. Let's just initial thoughts on Daredevil Born Again. What we thought about, what stuck out. Kind of walk me through, Jamie.
So again, in the last couple of weeks, I've been wrapping up a lot of shows because that's kind of what happens this time of year. A lot of shows are wrapping. And so I've literally watched both Daredevil Born Again, and I've also watched The End of the Boys on Amazon Prime.
Yep.
Both sort of superhero shows, both darker superhero shows.
Agreed.
And again, in a weird way, if I go back, because this was what, season 2 of Daredevil or season 3? We're 2 in, right? 2.
Yeah.
This was season 2. If I were to compare the first 2 seasons of The Boys against the first 2 seasons of Daredevil, I probably liked The Boys better.
Fair.
And
okay,
here's
I
why.
can hear that.
Here's why. I had this conversation with Brian Fury recently. I like Daredevil. Okay. I enjoyed the series. I really enjoyed season 2 in a lot of ways more than season 1. Daredevil reminds me a lot of the Penguin series that was on HBO Max, the new Batman, Pattinson Batman's spinoff.
Okay.
But both Daredevil and Penguin, okay, Daredevil especially, they are really just like political dramas set in New York City or Gotham, but Daredevil specifically. It's a political drama set in New York City where there happen to be superheroes around.
Okay. Yeah, I can see what you're saying there. Yep.
As versus for me, The Boys, that is a superhero show that has political and dramatic, undertones to it as well. Me personally,
yeah,
I like the ones that are superhero forward as versus the Daredevil or the Penguin necessarily. Because Penguin or Daredevil, especially Daredevil, I kind of felt like I was watching The Sopranos with superheroes.
Penguin especially, I can see that. Yeah,
there was one episode of Daredevil, and I don't remember which episode it was this season, where the entire episode was Daredevil. He was like bringing Bullseye's injured body somewhere.
Yeah, he was taking him around town. Yeah, he was dragging him throughout the city. Yeah,
I felt like the entire episode was either Wilson Fisk ranting against people in his office or Daredevil dragging Bullseye through the dark. And again, you can come at me for this. I got bored.
Yeah. No, I
got bored. I started playing games on the phone. I was just kind of bored.
There are definitely some episodes this season that it was hard to stay with, but then there's some episodes that are like visual masterpieces. You have the ballroom episode where all of that chaos is folding in and out of them dancing throughout the room and moving throughout the room, and it unfolds in this very just almost, it's like a dance-like way. It's a poetic type way. So the concepts that they have, I get it. I think Daredevil as a character just unfortunately can be boring. I just think that is like a part of it. Like, I think Daredevil is a little boring sometimes. So I don't know how to feel about that.
And I don't want to be part of the internet comic community who all we do is let's suck. No,
shit
look,
on it. Yeah, we loved the season.
I can put it this way. Cognitively, I can look at that show and be like, I understand why it's a great show.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's not a superhero show in many ways. I think an average person who likes Sopranos, The Wire, those type of darker, grittier shows,
yep,
they could like Daredevil without liking Marvel superheroes.
Okay.
I can cognitively say that. I understand why it's a good show. That being said, it's the old Tom Pritchard thing. It's flavors of ice cream. Okay. We all like ice cream. I like Oreo. I like, what do you call it? Cookies and cream.
You like cookies and cream?
Better than, of course, better, or chocolate chip cookie dough, better than perhaps I like Rocky Road.
I'm a big chocolate
Not
chip
saying
guy.
Rocky Road is bad. It's just, it's different flavors. We all like a little something different. My favorite episodes of the series, I will say, and again, I know some people, ironically, this is one of the scenes that a lot of people didn't like, but the Jessica Jones
Okay. Yeah.
appearance.
Yeah, I was
One of my
disappointed in it.
favorite scenes in there. No, she was probably my favorite character.
I
love when she showed up.
We talked about this off air, and I didn't like the idea that I didn't get to see any Jessica Jones fighting, but you're right. It made total sense. She pops out of nowhere. You've kind of talked me into liking it a little bit more, if you know what I mean. So
my favorite scene of the series was probably when you see some sort of Wilson Fisk adjacent security guys approaching a suburban house, this little girl playing, and they launch a grenade in through the front window. And then all you see in the background is all these bodies just flying around, getting thrown against trees, getting thrown here, getting thrown there. And who opens the door, walks in? Mom was, of course, Jessica Jones. That was her debut.
I liked that they had her playing with the bomb, and there wasn't a sense of urgency when Jessica came through the door. That was hilarious to me. I really liked that. That actually was a great close spot.
I also thought the last episode where, God, it was actually visually sickening when the protesters kind of breach the courthouse.
Oh.
And they start going after Kingpin.
Mm-hmm.
And he just absolutely goes to town on them.
So
I mean, just horrifically, violently.
we got to talk about this. So this is where you and we kind of did have a little bit of a discussion about, does Kingpin have superpowers? And a lot of what you saw there feels like it was superhuman acts, but are we looking at this in a world where people are just a little different? Like, you've been around people, nobody's punching holes out of walls, right? I mean, that's just not happening. Cement holes out of walls. So what are we looking at here? Like, we're looking at a character with superpowers, or are we just looking at exaggeration in the writing?
And I have to go on record. Growing up, I've always been more of a DC Comics guy. You know, if you ask me DC Comics trivia, I'd have it. Marvel, not so much. Daredevil, definitely not. There is a certain friend of ours, Brian Fury, who every episode of Daredevil, after we've watched it, I will text him and say, wow, this show is really cool. I wish they had done a series, like a prequel, telling me how all the characters got there. And he gets furious with me because I famously never watched the Netflix.
You didn't watch the original shows. Yeah, no, the original shows were good, and I think they showed a little bit of a problem with the thing. It felt a lot of times like Law and Order, and this series does not feel like Law and Order, even though having Matt Murdock in the courtroom is a superhero power of his. It feels like that. I think they did that much better here than they did in the prequels, but you didn't even watch them, so you don't even know.
No. So when I saw that scene, and I think it was all the same episode, or maybe it was like the last two, where he and Daredevil get into a fight first, kind of in that it's almost like an attic-y room there, like in a brownstone. And that's when, as you said, he takes a swing at Daredevil, and his fist like just goes through a brick wall or a brick column. And that's where I had to get on my Google machine, like, wait, is Kingpin superpowered?
Yes. Okay.
And everything I read said no.
So I have a theory, and I heard Vincent D'Onofrio talk about this, and frankly, I have a theory that the Kingpin does have a superpower, but it's one of those weird, unobvious ones, which is he becomes more powerful and his size grows as he gains more political and underworld power. So, like, as you saw him grow throughout the season, they were showing that he was becoming more gluttonous. He was you know, he wanted to fight and things like that. That being said, he picked a guy up and broke his back like Bane on a freaking wall. At a certain point, they definitely were building that up. And I got to be honest with you, I was a little bit disappointed that they built it up so hard, and then there was nothing after it. He just kicked the shit out of all these people, and he and Daredevil never had a final. You know what I mean? I felt the same way you're supposed to feel at the end of the series. I felt empty. I felt numb because I wanted to see that collision happen, and they built it up for what, 10 full minutes? And then you never got it. They did a great job there.
It's genius booking.
Yeah.
Because you still want it. They gave you a conclusion. I would actually argue that maybe my second favorite scene, that again, cognitively, I can see why it was such a great ending, is the final scene is really the villain standing on an ocean, on a beach, watching the sunset. He's technically free.
Have gotten away with everything. He murdered people on the way out.
And he's miserable.
And he's miserable.
He got away from it, and he's miserable. Then you've got your quote unquote hero. You've got your protagonist getting locked up in jail with a smile on his face.
Finally content. Yep. And he knows
he's happy.
Yep. He knows he got what he knows. Kingpin didn't get what he wanted. That's really what matters.
Even if it wasn't, he's not my favorite comic character, even if it's not my type of superhero show. Again, I can still recognize just how good that stuff is. That was that ending was absolutely genius, with the dichotomy between the two characters. Like I said, the bad guy's free but miserable. The hero's locked up and happy. And we know there's another step coming.
And you as a viewer should feel unrest. You should feel like nothing was solved, and that's exactly the way you feel. You feel like they stole something from you, which Kingpin did. Again, I remember thinking to myself, I almost thought it was overbooked at one point, right? Because they look at him and they say, all you gotta do is take the deal and leave, and we'll let you go. After that point, he kills 14 more people. After that point, he kills 14 more people, basically.
Right. Oh, yeah. Right.
Like, I'm sitting there watching this all go down going, if I couldn't have gotten to this point without going immediately to fuck me in the ass prison. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's where I would have been. And this guy, he's already out and he still won't let go. And you can see that. I mean, watching that, speaking of chaotic wrestling's Kingpin,
yes.
Brian Malonis, if I had the opportunity, I would book the shit out of 2012 or 2010 Kingpin Brian Malonis?
Oh, sure. Probably should have looked at that.
Brian Malonis, the Kingpin Brian Malonis could have had an amazing, he would have beat up, you could have just had him not fight, but just bear hug people to death. His own people that are thrown to him. You know what I mean? That's what I would have done. I would have worked that for months.
It's funny. You brought this up when we were prepping for the episode. And again, I've known Brian for 20 something years now. And one of my group chats, a buddy of mine still calls him Kingpin. It wasn't until you reminded me that this is where we got it. Or I want to take zero credit. This is where Brian came up with it. It was all Brian's idea. Yeah. Based on his build, based on his size. He saw the Kingpin, and I don't remember if it was from the original Daredevil show or where he stumbled across him.
It was before the pre-Daredevil
character.
Yeah, that was pre-Daredevil.
The original show. Looking back, I don't know who my booker / writer was. Obviously, I was always involved. I had final say. I wish a show like this had been around back then.
Yeah.
To do a better job of telling us what we could have done with Brian as the Kingpin Brian Malonis. And again, it's funny that I think if he had chosen a character that I was more familiar with.
Yeah, you would have been
in a weird way, if he had gone with Lex Luthor, if he had gone with a DC villain, I probably could have gotten my teeth into it more. But boy, could we have done more with him as the Kingpin.
And not for nothing, I don't want to get too pro wrestling kind of focused in here, but this was booked in a way where you have more questions than answers. It's like a Cold Fury closing and not knowing what's going to happen next month. It was perfect in that way. The booking leaves you wanting to see what's going to happen, even though you know it's probably not going to be Kingpin next season. Here's where I disagree with you. This I would never book this as a Cold Fury ending. Okay.
Cold Fury WrestleMania. I want that's the end. That in general, that should be the end of your feud.
Okay.
And especially look, if we're going pure wrestling, this is your main event. Kingpin Daredevil is your main event. And you gave me a finish. You gave me a screw job finish. Okay. If I said to you right now, who went over at the end? Who won? Nobody. It's almost like you just finished Mania. You just finished Cold Fury with a double DQ.
Oh, okay. All right. I can see where you're going with that.
Right?
Yeah. No,
you haven't given me a finish yet. Now, what I relate this to is this show, and others are starting to do this. It drives my wife Cheryl crazy. That when these streaming shows, 8, 10 episodes, 12, whatever they do, when they end on a cliffhanger, Cheryl hates it. She wants everything wrapped up in a nice, pretty bow. But I remember growing up, the TV dramas would end on cliffhangers. Famously, Who Shot JR? It was the first one to really do it.
Yeah.
But all the dramas would always end on a cliffhanger to get you back next season. I think that's what you're starting to see with these streaming shows is it's not your Cold Fury. It's not your Mania blow-off. Okay? This is your Raw. This is your Breaking Point. This is your Money in the Bank. When you want to push a feud to continue.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Both sides, heel and babyface, have now both gotten their teeth kicked in by the other. And now what do we want? Now we want the blow off. Somebody needs to go over at the end sooner or later.
And, you know, it makes sense what they did because now they can bring back Kingpin maybe a couple of seasons from now. But I think they're going to try something new next season. I think they're going to go some different, completely character. Do you have any thoughts? I know you're not really into Daredevil, so it would probably be hard.
No, I have no thoughts.
No thoughts.
But again,
all right. Well,
but again, it does make sense if what they've determined is next season that Daredevil is in fact the one who goes over. So it's okay for Kingpin to go away for a while. Okay, just like anything else. Your Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar can go away for a little while, right?
Yep.
Roman Reigns, here comes Drew McIntyre. Boom, boom, boom. But you know the ultimate. What do you want to do? You want to get back to Brock.
Yeah.
Brock can come back.
Makes sense. So we do have some
everything.
wrestling.
Everything is wrestling. The entire world is wrestling.
I was just about to say we do have some more wrestling talk to talk about too, because we didn't talk about the massacre. Like the
bloodbath, the post-Mania bloodbath. Because it's been a little while, it's settled since then. But yeah, this used to be an annual tradition that we all kind of knew about. That every year WWE would kind of release talents after Mania. Now TKO back in charge. They seem to have done it again. I believe they released close to 30 talents over the course of a few weeks.
And I'm just going to put it up there because we know exactly where we're talking about. We know exactly who's going to be kind of first on our list here. Kofi. I mean, we talk about him all the time here.
Yeah, there were some less surprising names. There were some names that I didn't even know were still with the company. There were a couple I'd never heard of, but definitely the most surprising ones were Kairi Sane and the New Day. Kofi Kingston, after close to 20 years with the company, he had a contract. I believe he had a 5-year contract that he had just signed fairly recently, and then TKO came and said, "Hey, we want you to renegotiate." The New Day said no, and they were granted their release.
And, I got to say, we know where they are now. We know where they've kind of moved on to, and I think they've taken the right path monetarily. I mean, what are
they're not anywhere yet. They're not anywhere yet.
I thought they had already landed, so that's not okay. I wasn't taking that from anywhere else. Okay.
No,
so
they can't. They can't land it. They can't land anywhere for 90 days.
We do know that Xavier Woods, I had read that they were going to be in AEW and that it was already set. Is that just not the case?
That is not the case.
Straight up
don't
dirt
that's
sheet
confirmed.
Bullcrap. Okay, cool. See, this is what you learn here.
Has been confirmed anywhere.
You find out what's dirt sheet bullshit, and you find out what's not. That's what's important.
No. I believe for the most part, everybody who's released, they're still under a 90-day non-compete, which means they still get paid by WWE.
Okay.
For 90 days, but they can't go anywhere else. Once the 90 days are up, then they can go anywhere they want.
And the other thing that I noticed about that was this was their first year into a 5-year contract, from my understanding. What's TKO's mindset here? Like, what's going on? This kind of thing is strange to me, but maybe you can give me some light on the end of the tunnel. What do I think about this, or how do I understand what their concepts are?
I hate to tell everybody, for the most part, the WWE, the WWF that you knew and loved is gone.
Yeah.
Okay. It's much like for Red Sox fans. Red Sox are absolutely horrible this year because their ownership. Red Sox are now part of what's it called? Fenway Sport. I think it's FSG, Fenway Sports Group, or something like that.
Okay.
That also own a racing team. They own an F1 team. They own a soccer club in the UK. They own the Pittsburgh Penguins, and they own the Red Sox. They are part of a portfolio. WWE is now part of a portfolio. Now, from what I know, I don't have a lot of inside sources anymore because they've all been let go. Remember, first thing they did was when TKO bought it, everybody in Stamford, or a lot of people in Stamford, were let go. Anybody who had duplicate jobs.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Travel departments, travel, marketing, that sort of thing, went away because TKO already had those people They kept theirs, got rid of most of the old WWE people. In terms of talent, it's a balance sheet. I'm confident that there is some pencil pusher somewhere in TKO who is saying, and this goes for any business, you have a line item cost for wages. This company is different. There's probably corporate wages and there's talent. But you have a number you want to be at for talent. I am confident that the way they look at it is, okay, is the talent driving enough revenue to account for their cost to us?
Okay. Yeah.
Now, here's where now you have to look at the WWE, the NXT feeder system. They got a ton of people down at NXT. TKO's approach is you have your top stars, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar, probably Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch is in that group. That group is more or less probably going to be the untouchables right now.
Okay.
Because they're driving ticket sales, they're driving merch. You have all these kids from NXT that you can call up at any time for dirt cheap. You can fill out your roster.
Your Sol Rukas, you've got your... Yeah, but...
She was the exact example I was going to use.
Yeah.
We need someone to face Becky now.
Yep.
Becky's not going anywhere. We're not touching her because she's driving dollars. We'll bring up Sol Ruka.
Yeah.
We'll bring up Lyra Valkyria. We'll bring up Stephanie Vaquer.
Isn't that technically just a system of feeding, though, and not building? Aren't they? I mean, you got to build, too. You got to build the future. Where are they finding the people to build?
Well, again, what their plan is. So, look, take your example. No, we are going to build around those people. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll take the ones, Sol Ruka. Carmelo Hayes is another one who's up there now. That we also know. What you do is you bring in new talent for less, build them up till they become a solid part of your roster. The gray area you're starting to dance around is that middle group. Yeah. So I'm not Roman Reigns. Mm-hmm. I'm not Carmelo Hayes. If I'm in the middle, that's where the trouble starts. Because, again, I'm trying to look at some of the other names. I don't want to just keep using Kofi.
Well, no, but like when you're looking at Kofi, the thing that bothered me about it or made me so like not understanding it was 2 years ago they were one of the top merch sellers.
100%.
So the fact that
2 years ago.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's the thing. Like that's old school wrestling. That's an old timey thought process of. Yeah, you were making money 2 years ago. You ain't making shit now. So
there's no I think but I think that's the downfall of them being run like a corporation. Vince, say what you want about the guy. We've all learned Vince is pretty much a scumbag. Vince was also incredibly loyal to the guys that helped get him there.
Yes.
One of the reasons there was such an issue between him and Hogan for years was because he felt betrayed by Hogan.
Yeah, no, yeah, I get you.
In a weird way, it wasn't a business thing. Vince felt betrayed because Vince was cut from that cloth of, yeah, I'm always going to take care of the ones who helped get me there.
Yeah.
TKO, no loyalty to anyone. So when you talk about the New Day, we'll go back to Kofi for a minute. So when I was looking at some of the other releases, so think about this. Aleister Black, Zelina Vega, Kairi Sane was interesting. Santos Escobar, Apollo Crews, Zoe Stark, Alba Fire, and then all of the some of the guys from and all of the Wyatt Six, all gone.
All of them. Yep.
It was a talent bloodbath. That being said, I would challenge anybody right now who's a wrestling fan. And I want to say I'm not taking TKO's side at all. I'm explaining why they do what they do.
Yeah, okay.
Any of the names I just mentioned, have you missed seeing them on your TV week to week, or did you not notice?
And I can almost guarantee you most people did not notice that they were gone. You're
correct.
100% right. And so, yeah, I mean, that's all it is.
Here's where I can bring evil TKO back into it. Now I go back to Kofi and the New Day. Mm-hmm. Let's now say I'm TKO. Kofi and Xavier have just signed big contracts, have been around forever. I'm confident they're making a lot of money. They've been pushing merch, but they're expensive. They might be, like I said, if they're in that gray area, kind of breaking even on New Day, I can influence what I want to have happen, because I would ask you before they got released, what was the last meaningful program the New Day were in?
It was the Tag Team Championships last year on Raw. Yeah, they were
so
the
now,
Tag Team
I'm
Champions.
TKO. If I'm TKO, I'm now going to go to the people I just said is an untouchable for a moment.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. Let's say I'm starting to feel that Becky Lynch is getting too expensive for me. All I have to do is tell the writers, get the strap offer, right? Put the strap on Sol Ruka at Clash, or no, that's going to be Saturday night's main event. Becky goes away for a while.
Yeah.
If Becky's not on the screens, what happens to her merch?
It goes down.
Starts going down.
Mm-hmm.
I can, as the company, if I were anybody on that roster, my number one, if you were going to say to me, Jamie, predict who's going to get released, and I adore her. I have always loved her on screen, and I've met her a few times personally. She's one of the sweetest people I've ever met. If I were Bailey, I'd be watching what just happened.
Yeah, I was thinking
because she's the perfect. She's been around forever. She's beloved. I have to imagine her contract's pretty expensive.
Gotta be.
But you don't see her that often.
And she's not somebody that's really even hanging out in the title picture at this point. So yeah, you're absolutely right. She probably, and you know, when it comes to pro wrestling, just to be completely blunt, this isn't new. That is what happened in the territory days. You would have somebody, they would gain a following, they'd do their thing, they'd do their run, and then they'd leave. They'd go to another territory. That's what the expectation is. But that being said, if you're going to run a pro wrestling business in that manner, unioning is gonna.
But what I hate eventually. About what makes me sick about the whole thing, aside from the people involved, again, because I literally know some of them personally. Yeah. What makes me sick is TKO is fixing a problem that they're causing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you don't want your talent roster to be so bloated, don't sign so many people.
Yeah, you're right. And they're signing
it's pretty
people
easy
to keep them away from AEW, but now they're going to let people go that are going to go to AEW. Listen, I know that you're saying that it's not legit right now. I am 100% on board that it's not a legit thing. But if those two guys, if Tony Khan has a brain in his head, he's already contacted.
Of course they're going there. Come on.
Of course they're going. So 100%. If he has a brain in their head, they're going there. They're going to enjoy the last 5-10 years of their career making more money than TKO ever could have paid them. Mm-hmm. So it's good for them. But again, these aren't contractors at this point. If this is how you're going to treat them, if you're going to treat them like this, you're very clearly making them contractors. So you're going to have to start actually acting like they're contractors, or there's going to be a problem.
And I do wonder if that's going to be the next thing you see, is because I know over the years, I think the famous story is, wasn't it Jesse Ventura who tried to start a union and Hogan ratted him out to Vince?
Yep.
And I know in the past, the challenge has been, if you can't get the top people on board with your union's technically going to fail. But that was also in an era where information wasn't as readily available.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, I think now I would have to think there's going to be some employment lawyer. Wasn't there a senator who got a hair across their ass a few years back with Vince?
He's still
and started to go after him.
Mm-hmm.
But then what happened, if I remember, Trump got elected one of the two times. I think it might have been the first time. Trump got elected. Trump's buddy with Vince. All of a sudden, you never heard a peep from the senator.
Yep.
About WWE, WWF again. In this day and age of information flowing and greed and all that, I have to imagine there's going to be somebody who's going to take a look at this soon and be like, and this is going to sound awful, not for the benefit of the wrestlers.
Yeah.
Hey, I can benefit.
Well,
if I'm a lawyer, I'm the union that makes this happen.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, we've seen it a couple of times. Actually, Kevin Nash just came out and essentially talked about this right now. He came out on Twitter and said they have to unionize. At this point, this just has to happen after this. So it seems like there's some people that are talking in the right areas and trying to make it happen.
Yeah. So again, like weird.
So we have made a pact here that at the end of the show,
yes,
we're going to talk about what we're going to talk about on the next show. And I think we had talked last week about starting the miniature wife. Wondering if you start the miniature wife yet? Nope. Okay.
No, because technically that never happened yet.
Yeah, that was the past. That's now the future.
That's right.
Yeah.
So now
you're right.
What we're talking about is, in addition to what we're watching, we're going to make a pact to say what we're going to watch.
Absolutely. Yes.
And we said that based on, again, I brought up the Hogan Vince story, and I've not yet watched the Hogan documentary.
Real good. You got to watch
it. So for episode 9, we both said we will commit to watching. I will watch the first few episodes of The Miniature Wife, and I will watch the Hogan documentary.
Okay.
So we can talk about that a little bit more.
And as of right now, what else you got? Anything else? We kind of moving in the right direction to move out here, I think.
Yeah. Well, the day we are recording this, I'm about to run home. Ooh. And I'm going to turn off my phone, turn off the Twitter, turn off the socials, because the live finale of Survivor Season 50 is airing tonight.
Oh, sugar snaps. Okay, so you're going to be glued into Survivor. Okay.
And I have to say, this is my one thing I hate. Well, one of the things I hate about living in LA is I joked about the premiere earlier that I didn't get to go to. They're doing a live finale of Survivor here in LA. And it really bothers me because I feel like if I was still in Boston, I would know somebody who knows somebody that could get me in there. And I don't have those people here yet. But so I got to start avoiding, because again, I'm 3 hours behind.
Okay.
So I've got to avoid spoilers.
If you are out there and you're in the LA area and you have those connections, reach out. Go to Golden Geeks Pod, Gmail, send us an email. Yeah. If you want to give us your +1, your +2, your +4, whatever you got, we're here because we are ready to. We're ready to come with you. We'll go wherever you want to go, do whatever you want to do.
I clean up good for red carpets, kids.
He does.
I look really good in tux.
He does. He looks real good. I don't wear tux, but I'll wear a Canadian tuxedo if you want. I'm cool with that.
You will not either. Not near me. And what you did just say is we do have good news that we are officially available on all the podcasting platforms now. So
it was
wherever
a fight.
You watch, listen to podcasts, give us a listen. More importantly, give us 5 stars, write a review, give us a follow. Whether you're on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon, or a lot of people watching on YouTube, give us a follow, give us a like, give us a rating, help us get the word out for the Golden Geeks podcast.
You want to see something cool? Alexa, play the Golden Geeks podcast.
Playing Golden Geeks Pod from Amazon Music. Here's Season 1, Episode 7. Golden Geek $1 Droid Heads.
Alexa,
Wrestling
stop.
Hall of Fame fires and the Alex Ross
Alexa.
unboxing miracle.
Alexa, stop. All right, we're fucked now.
Good. That's amazing.
But that's cool. Right?
So again, like I said, give us a follow, give us a rating,
to us.
Give us a like.
And we have discussed we needed an outro, and we've kind of been talking. And last week you said something, and I kind of started toileting around in my head. And you know, we're geeks, but we're also marks for geekdom. You know what I mean? We're a little bit of marks for geekdom. And I thought about the fact that the concept of marking out, a lot of our fans understand the concept of marking out for the things that they love, their passions, being a true fan of the things that you're passionate about. And I think the reason, what we kind of want to say at the end here is, you know, live what you love and geek out, guys. We'll see you again next week or next month, whenever we do this again. We'll talk about Hogan. We'll have some fun, and hopefully we'll hear from you again soon. You got anything else, Jamie?
Nope. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
We're out.